G'day guys, welcome to another maths tutorial with Mr. B. In today's tutorial, we are going to look at how to determine the equation of a linear graph. If we are given a linear graph, so a straight line that is plotted on our Cartesian plane. The first thing we've got to remember is that any linear equation can be written in the form y equals mx plus c. Okay, and this is a general form for any linear equation where m is my gradient and c is my y-intercept. So to figure out the equation of this line, we got to find the gradient m and the y-intercept c. Well, how are we going to do that? The y-intercept c, that's the easiest one to find. And the y-intercept is where the line crosses this y-axis. And if we look at this graph, if we pinpoint where this line crosses the y-axis, for this equation, the y-intercept is -2. So if we know that c is -2, we found out one part of our equation, but we got to find the gradient m as well. And we've got a little formula that can help us out. And that formula is m, our gradient, is equal to rise over run. But we got to know how to apply this. And to apply it, we have to pick 2 points on the line. Now these points have to be on one of the edges like this. So we've got nice whole numbers to deal with. If we were picking a point around here, well, we don't have whole numbers. It's pretty difficult to figure out what those points actually are. So we want to pick somewhere that's on one of the edges like this, so we're looking at whole number coordinates. So now I've picked two points that are on those corners. We're going to figure out what is my rise and what is my run. So when we're talking about rise and run, my run is for how far have I run across before I get to where the next point's going to be. And if we look at this one, we go across 1, 2 squares on the x-axis. So if we draw in a line in there, we can say that our run is equal to 2, because we've moved across 2 spaces on the x-axis. The other part of this equation is our rise. So our run is how far across we go, and our rise is how far up do we go until we get to this next point on the line. And in this case, we go 1, 2, 3, 4 units upwards. So we can say that our rise is equal to 4. So if we know what our rise and run is, we can put these numbers into our equation and we can figure out the gradient of the line. So our rise was 4 and our run was 2, so we've got 4 divided by 2, and that's going to give me a gradient of 2. Now if we know our gradient m is 2, and we know our y-intercept c is -2, we can take our general equation for our linear graph, which is y equals mx plus c, and we can substitute in those values of m and c to give the equation of this line. So our value of m, well, we've just worked that out as 2. So we've got y equals 2x plus our value is c, which is -2. And if we're adding a negative, it's just like subtracting. So we can just say y equals 2x minus 2. And that is our solution. So to summarize, if we are going to try and find the equation of a linear graph from the graph, we've got to first identify the y-intercept. We then need to use rise over run to find the gradient, and if we substitute those values into our general equation of a straight line, it gives us the equation of that line. Thank you for watching another video tutorial with Mr. B. See you next time.